my dear friends, welcome back to Sparklewithjyoti. Today's video is the most requested video of all time, and this is none other than the pros and cons of living in Sweden or migrating to Sweden. This video is important and requested by so many of you. So I decided to make it today. So guys, I've also inserted a complete slide with the entire summary of the pros and cons as well as additional points which I didn't want to make the video so long, so that's the reason I have taken all the main important points, and I'm also there are some sub points also which are definitely important and they will be later on in the video. So please do make sure that you stick for the entire video and watch till the end, because a slide will be at the end for including the entire summary. Okay, so these are like additional points like connectivity time you need from like here to India, as well as the time difference between these countries, and also like the shopping times, like what additional benefits we have than the other European countries. So these kind of additional points are there, so you can check it out later, and if you still have any questions then you can email me or DM me on Instagram. Okay, and do not I'm not an expert. This is all based on my personal experience and my personal opinion after living here for 4 years. So if you feel that some information is missing, or if you would like to add upon some points, then please do that in the comment section, and we can discuss and also understand like what else information we can find out. And those people who have already lived in the Nordic countries or are planning to come here, or you have any opinions to share, then please do so in the comment section. And yeah, so without further ado, let's start this video. So guys, let's begin. So the first point being about jobs. So this is the most important topic in our everybody's minds, right? So yeah, so if you have a job letter, a job offer from any of the companies from Sweden, and you're based in any other countries, non-EU country, then definitely that is enough. Normally the employer will sponsor your visa, and that's how you can come to Sweden and you can work here, you can live here, and you can also get your family, your wife on a dependent visa, and she also can work here. Okay, she did not sit at home, and if she gets a job, then she or he, whoever your partner, can work here. Okay, that is a very positive thing. On another note, what I find not negative but definitely a challenge is a language barrier. So if you are from any other field, like if you're not from non-technical background, or if you're from, for example, marketing or HR or any other jobs, you need Swedish. Okay, there is no other go. I have been repeating time and again on my channel that Swedish is a must if you are looking for jobs here. And if you're from IT background or technical background, then you can easily skip this step and you can definitely get a job. So yeah, this is the only challenging part. What I feel is that Swedish is mandatory to get jobs here. Guys, the next point is work-life balance, and as you all know that Sweden is so famous for its work-life balance, and the recent studies conducted by global human happiness workforce shows that Sweden is ranking in the top fourth for in the satisfied employee section. And Sweden is also famous for its leave system as well. So you have right to take 5 weeks of 5 weeks of leave per year, and mostly Swedes prefer taking their leave from June to August because the weather is quite favorable. It's sunny and it's very warm, so people prefer taking their leaves in that period. And coffee breaks are also very common, so the timing being like twice in a day, so you can take in the morning 10 o'clock as well as after lunch, like between 2 to 3 o'clock. And you also have option to take flexible time work, well, I guess flexible timings, so you can also work from home, and if you have any personal project or any personal work, you can take time off to do that work as well. And so that's the reason I think in overall Sweden is really considered as a best country to start and raise a family. So guys, the next point is housing. So more than of 10 million Swedes live in rental housing. Over half live in public housing. So it is to say that municipally owned rental housing. And this is an obvious choice for many because it provides you freedom in everyday life, good service, and even predictable accommodation expenses, and an opportunity to exert an influence over your housing. But too little built for too long, and a lot of influx of immigrants in recent years have created a big housing shortage, and the waiting time to get a rental apartment through government agency is 10 years in central areas and around 5 years in other areas. So not only this shortage of housing makes it difficult for you to move for jobs, but also you have always that fear of not getting house at all. So it is really very discouraging for people, especially newcomers who are coming here for job purposes. And even if you get houses, it can be very expensive. So, for example, my journey. Like we have been almost for 4 years, we were in waiting in queue for a house, and we started paying the rent 4 years back 7,000, and the last what we paid was 12,500. Of course, the area is little big, but then still you end up paying very high rents, and recently it is completely increased a lot, and it's going like for till from 13,000 to 14,000 kronas as well. So that is really a challenge, especially for newcomers. So moving on, the next point is parental leave. And in Sweden, parents are entitled to 480 days of paid parental leave in Sweden, whether your child is born or adopted. And this number is really very high in terms of international standards. For 390 days of 390 of the days, parents are entitled to getting 80% of salary, and for the remaining 90 days, you can get paid up at a flat rate. And those who are not in employment are also entitled to these parental benefits. Parental leave can be taken until your child turns 8 years of old, and the leave entitlement applies to each child except the you have like multiple children, and so parents can accumulate these leaves and then they can also use it later on. So outside of the 480 days of parental leave, you can also reduce your working hours up to as less as 25% as well. And whenever your child is sick, that is from 8 months old till 12 years, you are entitled to stay at home and take care of the child up to 120 days. And you can also use this time to visit any medical centers or any adolescent psychiatric services or dentist, all these other places. So this is really great, and that's what makes Sweden so child friendly and really great for parents. Next point is overall good standard of living. Sweden offers a very high standard of living overall. Sweden performs very well in many measures of well-being relative to most other countries in the Better Life Index. Sweden ranks above the average in all dimensions. So, may it be environmental equality, civic engagement, education and skills, work life balance, health status, subjective well being, income and wealth, jobs and earnings, housing, personal safety, and social connections. So, that is a very good thing. So next point right now is healthcare, and Sweden has one of the world's very best good health like healthcare systems, and treatment outcomes in Sweden is also rated very high. All residents, including expats, have access to public financed healthcare services. Employees and employers pay into the public fund. While healthcare is widely available and funded by taxes, there is also a small fee which you need to pay, and the country councils determine the prices for that particular care in the region. So while coverage is extensive, there are some small fees which has to be paid, and that is capped for 1,100 krona per year. Prescription drugs are free, but they are also capped at 2,200 krona per year. So the government covers expenses that exceed this amount. Some targeted groups, such as children, adolescents, pregnant women, and the elderly, are exempt from user charges or receive subsidies from certain services like maternity care or vaccinations. But on the negative side, the like though Sweden has very best care services and very good healthcare system, still it is now fading away due to long waiting periods. So especially you have to go to whenever you have to go to emergency, you end up waiting 4 hours, and the dental care also is skyrocketing, and the prices are extremely expensive, and more people are opting for private healthcare, but even those prices are very expensive, and the insurance rates are also very high. And again, the long waiting period makes it really difficult, so it's really a challenge which the Swedish government has to address as soon as possible. So guys, the next point is education, which is also very important. And Sweden really has a very well developed education system for children, for young adults, as well as later stage of adults. And if you are from an expat point of view, if you are planning to stay here for a longer duration, then it makes sense to put the child in Swedish school, where the child will learn Swedish as well as English. But if you are planning to stay for a very short duration, then you can put your child in international school, and the fees per child will be 30,000, around 30,000 SEK per year. And if you're having a permanent local employment with the Swedish company, then some international school might not give you admission, and they might ask you to go to the local school. So yeah, keep that in mind. And also, if your child is planning to take further education, international education in Sweden itself, all the courses mostly are in Swedish, and even the test and the entrance test is in Swedish. So it might be a challenge later on, so it is advisable that you keep your child accustomed to Swedish environment, and make sure that they at least know basic Swedish and conversational level Swedish. Okay, so keep that in mind. Is salary and taxes. So though it is not a new fact, everybody knows that taxes in Sweden are very high, as it is very famous for Volvo, IKEA furniture, and Abba. But though for outsiders, these tax rates might be high, but for Swedes, it's actually very cool. They're in fact very proud about it, and they often say, the Swedes, that in taxes we trust. So yeah, you get most of the facilities and services by paying your taxes. And the average right now is 32.12%. But again, it depends on the county and the municipalities where you live. So that will vary. So keep that in mind. And but thing is that, however, like in the past couple of years, the services offered have deteriorated a lot, like I explained earlier. So you have to wait for longer times in queue, and for several things. So that's the reason people are feeling that pinch, and even we felt the pinch. Like for example, when you have to register your child's name in the school, in the preschool, there is huge waiting. Like you have to, you have to register the name right from the child is born. So that is pretty irritating, and that's the reason, when you feel when you pay these taxes, you're feeling little of pinch that you're not getting the services in return of the taxes. So yeah. So, guys, the next point is language. And as a foreigner in Sweden, it is very rare that your work is, stopped, or you're forced to speak Swedish. Everybody speaks pretty fluent English here in Sweden, and especially in like metropolitan cities, they all speak good English. But if you want to go in the legal like offices or government offices, then Swedish can take you really a long way. Of course, when you speak their language, other people definitely will take you seriously and listen to you with attention. So Swedish is really helpful and preferred in those areas, but in your normal day-to-day life you can get away with English as well. But especially in terms of jobs, then you need to know Swedish, especially if you are in like a non-technical field like marketing or HR and other areas, then definitely you need Swedish. Otherwise, if you are like on in technical fields, then your work is very easy, and you do not need to learn Swedish as such. Our next point is dependent visa. So one of the best benefits that you get in Sweden and in EU in general, is that your spouses or dependent, whoever has come on dependent visa, can actually work. So there is no, you're not bounded by to work like any single company, or you don't have to for a specific period you don't have to work. And unlike the other main visa applicant, And also the dependent spouses can change jobs very freely, and they are not bound by any employer restrictions or any visa regulations. So, and if you're having this benefit and this facility that dependent visa person or your partner can work, it is so good for the family and for the family economy, as well as surviving in any in this particular country with both the salaries. That's really good. Next point is winter. So it's no secret that Sweden's geographical location makes it prone to cold and dark winters. At the depth of winter in some northern parts of the country above the Arctic Circle, you might get as little as three hours of daylight per day, that is sunlight. Winters may be rough, but you will be rewarded during summer. Long hours of daylight and moderately warm temperatures make Sweden one of the most beautiful places to be during May to August. And however, people from South Asia might feel summers are not so great usually, as they have rain during that time, while spring and autumn temperatures are relatively cold around 10 degrees Celsius. Last point, but not the least, is bureaucratic process. The process is really very slow, from processing visa application, registering to different offices like tax and municipal, Ward Central, for Shakring Kasan, ID cards, opening bank accounts take a lot of time. This particularly is frustrating when you are in situation when you don't have time and you want to get things done fast. So there is no work around here, as there is, you have to live with it, and there is no other option but just go with the flow. So guys, these were all my points. So I hope you like this video, guys. And the thing is that overall, in conclusion, this country is definitely very good. It gives you a lot of peace of mind and work-life balance. If you have any side hustle or passion to pursue, you can do that as well. But if you are looking for quick money, then it might not be the right place. So it completely depends on what exactly you want in your life, and what parameters you have in your mind to be moving countries. So basically, if both of you are working, like husband and wife, if they are working and having full-time jobs, then it makes sense to get more money. You will get more savings and more earnings as well. But if you on a single income, it is really difficult to achieve huge savings in a short period of time. So keep that in mind. And yeah, overall, this was my video. If you have any other points you want to add on, or comments, please feel free to comment in the comment section, and I will be happy to reply your queries or discussion. And I hope you like this video, guys. If you've liked it, please like, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends and family. And I'll see you in my next video. Till then, stay positive and stay happy. Bye bye, take care.